The One Piece chapter 1044 spoilers are finally out. Many of our predictions about Luffy's Devil Fruit have come true. Just as we predicted, the Devil Fruit Awakening is literally Luffy's Gear 5, confirmed. And we also predicted that his Devil Fruit Awakening will not only have something to do with Joy Boy, but more importantly with the sun god Nika, whose nickname is most likely Joy Boy. And so it was confirmed that Luffy's Devil Fruit is not the Gomu Gomu no Mi, but as we also suspected, a mythical Zoan fruit. It turned out to be the Hito Hito no Mi, Model Nika. And many other things we have said about the awakening have come true. However, some things did not quite fit our theory. But we will talk about everything today. It seems that the main secret of Luffy's Devil Fruit has still not been fully revealed. We know what it is, the name and the type, but we don't yet know all of its abilities, nor the reason why the government is so afraid of this fruit. And so in this One Piece video, we dive deep into Luffy's new Devil Fruit and everything we can deduce from these new big revelations. Also, only a small percentage of the people who watch our videos are actually subscribed, so if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing. Please enjoy this video, let's go! So with the new One Piece chapter 1044, we are a big step closer to understanding Luffy's power, but nowhere near enough to confirm its true essence. What we can do, however, is list all the things that are confirmed and compare them to the latest revelations, and then see if we can now explain certain things based on the new information we have received or not. And if not, then the remaining secrets could be the key to understanding the true essence of Luffy's fruit. So all that has been confirmed so far is the following. Luffy's true Devil Fruit is the Mythical Zoan Fruit Hito Hito no Mi Model Nika. A Mythical Zoan allows the user to transform into creatures that are the subject of myths and legends. In the case of Luffy, it seems to be the sun god Nika, although it seems that Nika could have other names, such as the Wisdom King or maybe even Joy Boy. Or the name Nika itself is also just a nickname, and the person who was called Nika somehow became the mythical entity of the Zoan Fruit itself, which is why Luffy also inherited the will of this person. The most characteristic facet of mythical Zoan fruits is that they have unique abilities that complement the actual transformations. That is, while normal Zoan fruits give the user strength and forms to fight in different styles, the mythical Zoan fruits have additional abilities that somehow mix Logia or Paramesha attributes with the Zoan abilities. This was the main reason why we assumed that Luffy's Devil Fruit could probably have something to do with a mythical Zoan fruit, since he showed several different abilities such as rubber, in addition to his transformations. However, it should be remembered that although he is made of rubber, his rubber does not behave like normal rubber. We definitely do not know all the secrets yet. A perfect example of multiple abilities is Kaido, who is able to create different elements like fire, lightning and wind. So theoretically, we could just say okay, because Luffy ate the mythical Zoan fruit, that explains every single one of his abilities. We were definitely prepared for this possibility, as this was literally very obvious. It's literally the definition of a mythical Zoan fruit. However, there are a few things that suggest there might be more to it. First of all, there's absolutely no reason why the government should be afraid of this devil fruit unless it is extremely powerful. So powerful that it will give Luffy the ability to become the strongest pirate of all time, just for eating this fruit. But is that really what we want? Is this One Piece? If after 25 years it is suddenly revealed that Luffy actually ate the strongest devil fruit available, the whole series would be kind of questionable. We have seen this so many times in anime and manga, that the protagonist always had this one overpowered ability that made him stronger than everyone else. The reason so many love One Piece is because that hasn't been the case with Luffy so far. In fact, Luffy always had the weak power, something that people made fun of, just rubber. But even if it turns out that he does indeed possess a very powerful devil fruit, it's not a big deal, because he's been working hard in discovering the truest sense more and more with each new gear. But if Gear 5 is now just the most powerful thing ever, just because the fruit awakened, then that would literally ruin everything Luffy has worked so hard for. And of course this fruit is powerful as hell, but do we really want the Gorosei to be afraid of the fruit just because it's so powerful? Or maybe more because of something else? Something that might have something to do with Joy Boy, who is a person from the Void Century, which is literally the fear of the Gorosei. They moved their main target from Robin, the person who could find out the truth about the Void Century, to Luffy, who has something to do with Joy Boy, a person from the Void Century. With this we can assume that the Gorosei's fear is due to some kind of connection between Luffy and the Void Century, which is why they try to erase the fruit from history, which they usually only do with things that have something to do with the Void Century. With the revelation that the devil fruit itself is called Nika, we can also assume that the sun god Nika is a name people gave to Joy Boy after he freed the slaves. We know that Nika in Japanese is something like a grin, so basically the sun god who is always grinning. Maybe he freed the slaves when the dawn arrived and they just see him smiling in the sun, and so they called him sun god Nika, and that's why maybe his devil fruit was called Nika as well. I mean, like I said, his name literally means grin, and usually devil fruits are named after their characteristics, which obviously could have something to do with smiling, because we saw Luffy literally say that he's much happier since he ate the Gomu Gomu no Mi, and he smiles like a Joy Boy, that's for sure. So it makes sense why the devil fruit is called Nika, because the people who eat it start smiling all the time for some reason. But why didn't the people who gave the fruit its name focus on the qualities the fruit has other than the smile? Maybe because the fruit didn't have any other attributes at some point in the past, but at least it has been classified as a mythical Zoan fruit. But was it always the case? Apparently Luffy transforms into literally Nika, since the model of the fruit is Nika, which then suggests that Nika is actually an entity, and not just a name as we assumed based on its meaning, which complicates everything a bit more. And then we have the very strange document from Dr. Vegapunk, which basically shows that Luffy's devil fruit plus rockets equals a monkey with rockets. There's been a lot of interpretation about what that could mean, and now that it's finally been revealed that it has nothing to do with a monkey from mythology, we can now focus on other possibilities. In our last video we explained that the meaning of this document could be explained with simple math. By changing positions, we find that in this calculation the Hito Hito no Mi Model Nika represents a monkey. Perhaps this means that Luffy as Monkey D. Luffy is the user of the Nika fruit, and if you add rockets to this fruit you get what Luffy can currently use with the fruit plus the ability of rockets. This raises the question of whether all the abilities Luffy has shown with all gears have always been part of the Nika fruit, or have been added to the fruit as shown on the document, which could then point to the true core essence of the Nika fruit itself, which is the ability to gain further additional abilities. In this way, the original Nika fruit could have evolved into a Zoan fruit. This could then explain how it got the Raba property or the ability to raise temperature. This could explain why the name of the fruit might just be Nika, like the grin, because at some point maybe the fruit just had the attribute of smiling and the ability to evolve by adding new abilities to it. And over time the fruit became what it is today. We have the ability to increase the blood vessels, which allows Luffy to pump his blood through his body faster. We have the ability of gigantification. We have the ability of a Zoan fruit with currently 4 transformations. We have the ability to generate heat or fire, as we have seen with the Fire Hawk. We have the typical smile of Joy Boy and Sun God Nika, and now also Luffy. And a certain will inherited by Luffy, which was clearly shown in his desire to free all slaves from Wano, which was then the ultimate trigger for Luffy's awakening, for which the Sun God Nika is known, the liberator of the slaves, which then fits perfectly with the liberation drums, and also the title of the chapter, Liberation Warrior. Everything I explained in my last video makes more sense now. I explained that a devil fruit awakening only works when the user of the devil fruit is either fully aware of the true essence of the devil fruit or has something to do with the true essence during the awakening. What Luffy really wanted at the moment was to free the slaves. You see how everything fits together. So Luffy has awakened because he has the same will as Nika, and therefore the true essence must have something to do with will, the past, a connection to Joy Boy, which is why Zunesha said Joy Boy has returned, as if Luffy is a different person now, even though he seems to be the same. Maybe he has some kind of connection to the past now, which would be why the government was so afraid of this awakening, since Luffy could finally find out the truth without being forced to find the One Piece. Or maybe that will help him to find the One Piece, knowing where to look, or whatever can help him find Laugh Tale. And that's about all we can say about the leaks. All we know is that the Gorosei have been trying to get the fruit for 800 years, which suggests that there is indeed the connection to the Void Century. It was also mentioned that it looked like the fruit itself was running away from them, which one Gorosei member explained as devil fruits having a mind on its own. This goes way back to when even Usopp questions whether devil fruit had a will of its own, since at that time it was revealed that even inanimate objects could eat a devil fruit. So this has been hinted at since the beginning of One Piece, with the idea that devil fruits really do have something like a mind, which is perhaps why Nika and Luffy both smile in desire to free slaves. Or as mentioned, Nika somehow became a devil fruit, and so now Luffy can transform into Nika. The battle between Luffy and Kaido then continues, with Luffy even being able to turn the ground into rubber, a typical characteristic of an awakening. So very interesting indeed. Definitely not everything has been revealed. There are still secrets to be discovered, and also there's still a lot to be explained, but more on that when the chapter is published. So don't miss the chapter review and subscribe to the channel with the notification bell activated. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.